scored 3 times over the holiday period. So has Villa's leading scorer, Dwight Yorke, but the visitors are forced to make their first outfield change in 7 matches. Ricardo Shimiko is injured, disrupting what is the Premiership's meanest defence. Gareth Southgate is on the way back. Tonight, though, the vacancy is filled by Carl Tyler, normally an understudy to a very stable task list. In charge this evening, David Elleray from Harrow, who's presided over 2 United wins and 2 Villa defeats so far this season. Villa, kicking off in the light shirts, are in the midst of a run of 6 games against the other 7 members of the top echelon of the Premiership. This should be a really good benchmark as to the validity of their title aspirations. As for Manchester United, well, their Christmas has been very merry indeed so far, and they'd like the new year to match. 3 wins. If they make it 4, it'll be their best holiday period since 1959. Townsend with Butt herring in to make the challenge. Staunton showing too much of it to Keane, and here's Cantona, and there's a real chance for United here. 3 in the middle. Here's Giggs. How did he miss from there? Well, Steve Staunton's slip allowed Roy Keane to win a ball that he should never have had a sniff of. Cantona, look, he looked up at least 3 times, and maybe the presence of Bosnich actually moving in front of Giggs put the Welshman off, but really, in the strictest terms, there's no excuse for missing that. And no one's picked up Milošević. 2 on the edge of the 6-yard box. He's being crowded out at the moment, Milošević. He is very one-footed. And he went down, and it's a corner. Dwight Yorke is asking for something more. But Milošević peeled away, earned himself some space, and then couldn't get past a wall of red shirts that suddenly engulfed him. Townsend, the captain, with the kick, and plenty of height available to him. Schmeichel had an anxious moment, but there was a push. Well, these were Villa's claims for a penalty. There might have been something in that. Roy Keane was the tackler. Yorke. Staunton. Milošević pulling away. And that's the intended recipient of that pass. Irwin's the defender. Milošević trying to work it onto his left foot. And that cost Villa a chance. Suddenly the foot is on the accelerator, and that's a glorious pass to Cantona. Solskjaer by the penalty spot, Giggs beyond, and it flicked off the head of Tyler. Only to Beckham. Ehiogu. Cantona! So nearly a slice of New Year cheer from the Frenchman, the Old Trafford faithful. Ehiogu's defensive header lacked conviction or direction. And Cantona struck it cleanly enough, but with the outside of the boot it was always going wide. Ehiogu's header. Giggs. Ehiogu once again. Solskjaer. Ball by Fernando Nélson. Beckham with the free kick. And Johnssen's header, had it been a yard either side of Mark Bosnich, would have made it 1-0. Lovely flight on the free kick. And the header, couldn't really fault it, except to say that into one of the corners would have been a better bet. Yorke. No one is with Alan Wright. And Villa are getting men forward in numbers now. Draper's in there. Here is Draper. Great save. And Taylor. The linesman has got his flag up on the near side. There was a suspicion that Mark Draper was offside. There he is, the furthest player forward, and as Alan Wright plays it in, yes, he was a couple of yards the wrong side of the defensive line. Some save by Schmeichel, though. Cantona bounces off Staunton. It's still Cantona. It's very tight in there. Cleared by Nélson. Johnsen came off his chest to Milošević. Now Yorke, Townsend. On to Milošević. 3 Villa players in the centre. But Giggs did a good job for Manchester United. And now he can repeat it. Solskjaer. Giggs marauding forward. Here he is. Around Ehiogu. Still going, Ryan Giggs. And Cantona. Somehow Bosnich got across and back. Giggs seemed to have a clear shooting opportunity. He'd done the hard part, taking it around Ehiogu between the 2 defenders. And there, that was the shooting chance. Bosnich did well. Maybe he thought Giggs should have shot. Slightly off May. Out of play by Ronny Johnsen. Less than 4 minutes to half-time. Milošević and Beckham having an altercation. There's no need really for others to become involved. Staunton and Giggs now exchanging views. At the root of it. Beckham caught Milošević a little late. Well, the yellow card has been waved in Beckham's direction, but I'm not sure that Milošević didn't spit at David Beckham after the initial challenge, and for that he too is going to be cautioned. What can Villa make of the free kick? They have 5 in the box. Townsend with it. Keane's header. The handball against Draper. And Ryan Giggs will go to the Manchester United dressing room expecting to be told that he should have given United a half-time advantage with a clear opportunity, and he will feel that by his standards he should have put United in front. Well, Villa showed great organisation in the first period and played stoutly at the back, and Manchester United have yet to produce the inspiration to find a way through, although this man Giggs will still feel that he should have scored a goal. It was interesting that he passed up several more opportunities to shoot himself after missing a sitter. This is Beckham. No changes at half-time, by the way, and United now playing from left to right. Cantona. Now Neville, 3 to aim for. Staunton. Keane. Irwin. Solskjaer. A little short of Irwin. And it'll be a Villa throw. Won by Ian Taylor. The crowd are singing Andy Cole's name, and he may be with us shortly. But it could land Villa in trouble. And Cantona seemed to tangle with Tyler as the ball was going out of play. Cantona is appealing to the referee's assistant for assistance. Well, you would have to say that Cantona was the offender. Draper used the chest, not the arm. Milošević. Only Yorke in the centre, and he's surrounded by 3 United defenders. More support arriving now for Nélson. Can he take on and beat Irwin? Milošević. It may fall luckily to Yorke. deflected off Johnsen and behind for a corner. And Schmeichel was lying on the ground when that ball whistled past the post. It was fortunate for Villa the way the ball fell to Dwight Yorke and then to Milošević, and Schmeichel was lying prone. Five in the box for Townsend's corner. Again, poorly delivered, straight onto the head of Butt. It's a better pass by Staunton. Can Townsend do better with the cross, or maybe a shot? Townsend! Blocked by Schmeichel. And a prodigious throw by the big Dane puts Giggs on his way. Nélson doesn't know which way to turn. Still it's Giggs. Fine tackle by Steve Staunton. Halted the Welshman in full flow. A rare frisson of excitement. Cantona. On to Keane. Bosnich acts as sweeper. He now has to retreat because it falls of ball people to David Beckham close to halfway. Not for long. Yorke. Two to his right. And 6 United defenders, plus the goalkeeper to get past. That's the measure of Villa's task. Well, Little doesn't look too happy. But 0-0 at Old Trafford is never a bad score for the visitors. No surprise that Solskjaer is making way. And for the third successive match, Andy Cole comes on as a replacement. Cantona. Beckham. Deep for Giggs. Nélson in the way. It'll fall to Cantona. Still Cantona. It is Ehiogu. Beckham, who was fouled by Draper, in a prime position for Manchester United's free-kick specialists, of whom there are any number. Bosnich, briefly a Manchester United player himself, with the task of arranging the defensive war. Giggs has decided he won't take it. Here's Cantona, and it's a corner. Giggs. High and hanging. May went for it. Villa failing to clear, appeals for handball. Keane, awkward bounce, and in the end a good save by Bosnich, scrambling away. There was a real mess inside the box as Villa attempted twice to clear. Second corner. Cantona. Beckham. Again deflected. Cole! Great save by Bosnich. It really was. And then Beckham scuffed the follow-up cross. But Andy Cole must have thought when he saw the whites of Bosnich's eyes that this was his chance to score the winning goal for United. But when Bosnich spreads himself, he can make himself look very wide. And that's precisely what he did. Right. Push by Giggs. Milošević with the quick free kick to Johnsen. Townsend. Yorke has escaped his man, who was and is David May. Townsend. Milošević was there. It'll fall to Johnsen. United escape. Giggs. Now Beckham. Two to his left, one to his right. And that man is Cantona. Giggs. Beckham. Deflected cross off Tyler. Took the sting out of it. This was virtually Tommy Johnson's first touch of the ball. This has been an evening, an occasion and a game which have fallen well short of the expected standards. Cantona. Sliced off Ehiogu. Here's Giggs. United with 3 inside the penalty area. Giggs still. Nélson recovered in the nick of time. Johnsen. Given away to May. Still May is allowed to run. Giggs. Same cross. Straight to May. Been known to score with his head a time or two from set pieces, David May, but not with a half volley on the edge of the penalty area. So that was the chance that presented itself. Beckham back to Neville. Cantona screaming for it, and here he is. Goal beaten by Tyler. Well won by Keane. Beckham. Giggs. Cantona. And a clear chance for Beckham, who pounds the turf in frustration. We're just not going to see a goal tonight. And there haven't been that many chances of a goal. This just seems destined to end 0-0. Johnson's head, and for the third successive time, Manchester United and Aston Villa failed to produce a goal. In the context of the title race, it doesn't tell us too much, except this Premiership this season is becoming a story of missed opportunities by the leading teams. In Villa's terms, a good result away from home. Mark Bosnich with a couple of second-half saves that made him worthy of his money this part of the festive season. Roy Keane, a vigorous presence, but not enough to stir Manchester United into a goal. Ryan Giggs should have scored.